Everything in Australia, my country, was so rigid, so strict with taxes, and you would get destroyed. 40% of my time, how do I reduce my tax in my business in Australia? I have zero of that now. All that mental energy goes into how do I grow my business. That is one of the biggest shifts. You can't put a price on that. The freedom, the clarity mentally, enormous.
Hey guys, this is Paul from Plan B Paraguay. We like to highlight the stories of different expats that are doing interesting things in Paraguay. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing my friend Joe. Now, Joe's another Australian guy and he's come here and he's started a new life here, and you've also created your own business. I thought it'd be cool, Joe. Today we talk what it's like to create a bricks and mortar business in Paraguay.
For sure, I'll go super quickly over how I got to Paraguay. And if you're watching this, you're probably in a similar point where you're not super happy with what's going on in your country. For me, that reached probably threshold during lockdowns. The government's response to that whole period. I had a business of self-defense martial arts in Australia at that time, and it's very hard to run a business when you're just getting allowed to operate for 2 months, closed for 3 months. Not good. So I made a decision to leave Australia. Because of that and a bunch of other things, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I was pretty clear on what I didn't want. And from that, I made a list of like 10 criteria that I wanted. And I was giving myself 2 years to travel to a list of countries that I thought could be potentials. And I was scoring each one of those criteria out of 10. Some of those countries are in Europe, North America, South America, nothing in Asia because I'd already lived there for a while. Most of the countries were no good for what I wanted. I was in Colombia before I came here for about 6 months and loved it. Brilliant. The one thing Colombia didn't have for me was the tax residency. Way back when I was 18, I lived in Brazil for a year and I came into Paraguay for a day in Ciudad del Este, which is like a shopping area, cheap as, good quality stuff. Came in for a day and decided with my wisdom at 18 that I would never come back to the country. It was like one of those countries I could visit and that was it.
What, Paraguay?
Yeah, so it was actually in my head that I would never come back to Paraguay, and now I live here. So yeah, I think probably don't trust all your decision making at 18 years and think that it's the best way to go.
Ciudad del Este. Like,
at that time, this was very different to what it is now. Like, it was like a shanty town. It was like something that you would imagine like a favela in Brazil if you've been there. That's what it looked like. There wasn't the big, everything was done in like the corrugated iron sort of roofs.
Really?
Now it's quite nice, yeah.
okay.
And the streets were disgusting and it felt really unsafe. And I was living in Brazil at the time, so that's saying something, right? It was throwing up between Panama and Paraguay. Panama was 6 months and $8,000, and you had to do the monthly filings, which were like $100 a month. Here was, I could do it myself or pay someone, and it was going to cost me. For the residency and all that up, I was looking, the residency between 4K plus the tax stuff. It was just a time thing, but it could have all been done in 4 months. And I thought, you got half the price, it's faster. If I hate it, thought I could go to Brazil if I really don't like it. 4 months, stick it out, get it done.
Yeah.
This is the price you got to pay to get the life that you want.
When you say tax residency, maybe some people don't
Oh, okay, yeah.
quite understand what that means.
Just the location that you're taxed at. And for me, I was an Australian tax resident, which is a very difficult tax net to get out of once you're in it. And my effective tax rate was between 40 would have been on the low end, but up to 60% if you include like the VAT tax or GST in Australia. They just tax you for breathing over there. My idea on taxation really changed dramatically during the lockdowns, and I see it as theft. So my 100% preference was 0% tax or as close to as possible. The effective rate is 10%, but it's so chilled. I pay nothing. They actually owe me money. They don't chase you at all.
You're gonna have to.
It's quite difficult to declare everything that you earn. There's like a thing where if someone doesn't ask you for a receipt, you can't declare that. Talk to multiple accountants, and that's my situation. In Australia, they'll like tax you for birthday card money. Here is just so relaxed.
So just to be more specific with that, let's say you're saying when you have a transaction within Paraguay,
Yes.
and someone doesn't ask for a tax receipt,
Yeah, it's like I've told my accountant and asked others,
a Paraguayan accountant.
yeah, how do I declare this?
Okay.
And they're like, you can't, it's yours. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Whatever I earn, just because of the nature of my business and my products, most of my clients don't ask for facturas, which like your receipt. So I declare a very small amount of what actually comes in, and I can claim everything that I purchase. It's crazy. That was one of the hardest things for me to understand about being here, is how different the tax system was, because everything in Australia, my country, was so rigid, so strict with taxes.
Yeah.
And you would get destroyed if you didn't pay taxes on time, if you were late, if you missed something, they'd be auditing you. And like 40% of my time maybe was thinking, how do I reduce my tax in my business in Australia? I have zero of that now. All that mental energy and all that clarity goes into how do I grow my business? That is one of the biggest shifts. You can't put a price on that because for me, you can't. The freedom, the clarity mentally of that is enormous.
And I want to get into the specifics of business in Paraguay, but before we do that, how about we rewind a little bit? And so you've come here, you've decided on Paraguay versus Panama, it sounds.
Yep.
What was the impetus for you to start a business here?
While I was traveling, so while I had my 2-year sort of thing to go and find countries, my idea was to trade and learn that and ideally make some money from it. Did well, but didn't hit targets and then did badly. Later on, as you do, it's trading, right? Then because I didn't hit those targets, the idea was, right, if I don't hit the targets, then I have to start a business, which I love business anyway, so it was fine for me to do that. 3 businesses I was throwing up ideas with. There was a guy here, I made soap my first time in Australia with goats that I've got there. I've got a few goats in Australia and I caught them with my dog, Jack, Black Jack. He's a Rottweiler, he's black. And I made soap with them and the fat of goats. My dad got really cool results with his hands. So in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, cool, there's something potentially there. There was a guy here that we were at your birthday one time and he had a jar of tallow and was cooking popcorn with it. I was like, this guy's weird as, but it was like an interesting weird. And I thought, okay, cool, he knows how to render tallow and I understand the soap making process. Maybe there's something we can do to link up and look at doing a business. He was keen, he was like, yeah, let's go. I was right, cool, let's structure this. But he was very keen to start. We started under a different mark and doing it together. Didn't work, we split quite quickly. I continued with this. It's grown and gone really nicely, but the impetus was because I had the idea to do trading. It didn't work the way I wanted to. This was the one that came. There were 2 other business ideas I played with, but this is the one that I took and it's going very nicely.
I talk to a lot of people that come here and want to do trading, and I think it's good and I think it's amazing if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
But I think it can be a little bit harder than what it seems to be long term.
Yeah, no, like even with trading, I think one of the worst things I did was try and spend all day on it.
Okay.
I make way more money trading now and I do 5 minutes, like a long day would be like 30 minutes trading a day now because most of my time's in the business. I make more money trading than I do in the business, but I make more money now than what I did previously because I do less time. Trading's a weird thing because it's like the more time you spend at the screen, just mentally you get tired, start trying to push things that don't work. But having this complement it has been brilliant for me.
And just to zoom out, when you say trading, you mean trading stocks?
Yes.
Crypto or
I don't trade crypto,
futures or
yeah, it's
Forex?
The idea is the same. I think the longer you spend at the screen, it's dangerous.
Right.
And I like having, this is real, it's tangible. That was another thing that was important for me in a business. So much of the world is fake and artificial and money made out of thin air. I like having something I can touch, I can feel, I can use. And that's something people are always going to need. So that was another driver for this sort of business.
It's funny you say that because when I went from just living off my investments to having a business, there's just something so much more fulfilling about something that you can work on.
100%.
Whereas if you're watching your investments or trading, you're passive.
Yes.
Things are happening to you, it's disempowering. But when you're doing your own thing, I think it's a lot more satisfying psychologically.
So I think that's a key thing, psychologically, way more satisfying.
Yeah.
If I make a sale of like $100 with this, I'm way more fulfilled than if I make a trade and I win 5 grand. It's nice. And especially, I think hearing the feedback from people using the products, seeing how it affects them, skin, health of their family, even things that I don't know that they improve with, like the lip balms and cold sores that people get. Every single person that's had a cold sore and they use the lip balm, it's gone super quickly. And I had no idea that the products even did that.
Well,
and it's really cool.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So we've mentioned it briefly. What is your business? What are the main things that you sell? And how are you a bit different than what people had in Paraguay before?
I sell to people whose highest values are health and longevity. I think if health and longevity are important to you, these products fit very well into your lifestyle. If they're not, you may as well just go to the supermarket and buy what's there. There was a demand here for people that wanted healthy things because a lot of people that come here think in a very similar way that I do the way you do.
Definitely a type of person, especially in the expat community.
That-
Everyone's different.
100%.
There's more probably health conscious, care about good food.
It's health, freedom. It's like having control over your own life. And a natural extension of that is wanting to have control over your health. If you're down the financial hole or the health hole or whatever it is, they link. These products fit into that mold. And there's a very big community of people here that think like that. Products range from like cleaning, cosmetic, hygiene products, soaps. I've got moisturizers, hair serums, beard serum, lip balms. They'd be like your sort of cosmetic style things. And then cleaning, liquid detergents for washing machine, plates, hands. So I did a liquid version of those. It was my preference, but a lot of people want it, so I made it. Sunscreen, similar sort of thing. I do have toothpaste, it's just sold out at the moment. And the idea is just everything's natural, clean.
Is it all? It's all products?
No, the base is all from tallow,
Okay.
but not everything in every product is animal. So the soaps are like 3 ingredients. You've got fat, and then you've got sodium hydroxide, and then water.
I don't give the secret away.
No, they're just the basic ingredients. But if you go and look at a soap label in the supermarket, they'll have 20 ingredients in there. You don't need that much to make soap. And the durability of soap should last like mine does, which...
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm saying. Like you gave me like a big coffee, it was a coffee soap, yeah? And it lasted months.
Yeah.
Whereas you get one from the pharmacy, it's, yeah, maybe a month at most, probably less.
Yeah,
Like it suds up a lot, but it disappears.
Yeah, and the formula is different. They use a lot more water in the product specifically so it does go faster, and a bunch of other crap that's just not necessary. I get it after going through the process of making it. I understand why they do it for scale and production. I understand it. I don't agree with it on a principle level, but I do understand why they take that approach to making their products.
I don't have too many allergies or anything like that, but occasionally I get like irritated skin. And I noticed with your soap, I had a lot less like little rashes and irritations that I would.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a dual effect because when you're using like artificial chemical crap, your skin absorbs like 60% of what you put on it. So when you're using stuff, even though it seems like you're washing it off, there's still absorption that happens. The body's designed to handle a lot of crap that gets put on it. We consume, like we're designed to eliminate that. There's a point where it gets too full. And if it gets too full, then you start like leaking, which would be the stuff coming through the skin. It's the body trying to get rid of it in whatever form, varies person to person, but it's the body trying to get rid of the excess. So if you're still using chemical crap, then you're still putting stuff in and the body's trying to eliminate it, it's just not working.
Right.
If you then switch to using something clean that actually helps the skin regenerate, you get like a twofold benefit. You get one, because you're not adding extra crap in. You're also getting something that helps the body heal and regenerate and function how it should. It's not just the soap doing it or just the natural products. And I think it's a really shitty thing that a lot of people that sell natural stuff do. They're like, oh, it's the cure-all, it's gonna do all this. It's a combination of the product being really good for the body, yes, but it's also stopping using the shit that's bad for your body. And I think that is missed in a lot of explanations, but that's how it actually works.
So you're not like accumulating more toxins or...
Yeah, you're not adding extra crap, you're giving your body a chance to heal it out. But yeah, they're like the cosmetic stuff. And then the base product is tallow, which is beef fat for cooking, which is the most healthy fat you can use for cooking in terms of its temperature. It's got the highest set point of main oils. I don't know any fat that has a higher smoke point than beef tallow. So that's a really good one to cook in. And then collagen, which I get from the tendons, ligaments, joints, parts of the cow. Everything's cow-based that I use. And that goes into a gelatin, which is very high in protein.
And like, what's interesting with your collagen, I'm not an expert, but you go to the pharmacy and you get like little pills, right? But you have the whole, and we'll show some later on film, you have the whole jar of collagen.
Somebody go.
Yeah, get one on camera. And I remember like you would like scoop it. There you go, like that. That's just pure collagen.
I'll touch this because it's like for my dog. So my dog eats this. So it's like,
there you go. Like it looks like gelatin.
That's what it should look like. And that's really good quality stuff.
So that's from all Paraguayan beef.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's my dog's. So I have some of it as well. I'll eat the same stuff that I feed my dog, which...
But would you say the soap is your most popular product?
Collagen is my most popular product. And it's Yeah, collagen's the most popular. The benefits are just crazy. When you get into it, how it heals the gut, how quickly it works, joint problems, it's so anti-inflammatory. And the gut healing for me is the biggest, but it's incredible for anyone with joint issues, muscle tears, ligament, tendons, all that sort of stuff. It's phenomenal.
And would you say your clientele is either expats or Paraguayans or a combination?
It's a combination. The majority of my clients are Paraguayan. So I've got about 80%, maybe a little bit more Paraguayan clients.
And it looks like everything's in Spanish on your marketing here.
Yes, everything's in Spanish for two reasons. We're in Paraguay, that's their language. I think if you're gonna go to a country and integrate, you should respect that and integrate into the country. So from a principal standpoint, but also most of my clients are Paraguayan. And then third point on that would be, my goal for this business was never to just sell in Paraguay, because I was never gonna make an enormous amount of money selling this stuff in Paraguay. It's just not gonna happen.
Just because the market's not big enough?
There's 7 million people here and most of them don't have money. That's just the reality of it. Doesn't matter how good the product is. My goal is to export, it always has been. But because the quality of beef, cows, how they feed and graze here is so high, it makes an enormous amount of sense for me to have this product here. Sorry, I'll just chat to old mate. If you want to pause it, chat. I like how they hustle and do that shit. Respect it. Get guys coming to buy all the time with their business stuff. I think it's good.
Yeah, so we just had a guy, we might as well tell the people, we just had a guy come up. Looks like he was offering personalized business cards.
Yes.
So good on him.
Yeah.
Another entrepreneur in Paraguay.
Yes, there's plenty of them. They come around with stuff all the time and I just like it. I think it's a good feel. It's very small business friendly. And that's an example of it. Guys just operating the thing, doing it. It's a simple form of marketing, but it works. And I like that.
And but before he came up, you were talking about how you're thinking about exporting eventually.
Yeah, the goal of the business initially is looking like 4-year time horizon when I started this, and the goal to be in the States. There was a business there that sold for a very healthy 9-figure sum after going from 0 to that in 4 years. So that was the model that I wanted to copy with this business. So yeah, export was always my goal, but this as a testing ground, because the raw material quality, you might find it equal, but you're not going to find better just because of the cattle. Yeah. When you eat the meat here, you'll get it because the meat is just next level.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that all the other byproduct, like the fat and everything else that comes from the cow, is going to be extremely high quality as well. Made sense for me to do this from a logic standpoint.
And how long have you been in business for?
Not even a year.
This, not bad. You got a shop front, you got a whole product catalog now.
Yeah. This, about 9 months with this mark. Started January. It was about this time last year that we actually started, when I was with my ex-business partner. And yeah, this mark was in March or April that I started this one. The shop I've only had 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
All sorts of people come to Paraguay. As what's special and what I really like about you is that you are doing a bricks and mortar business. I know everyone wants to come here and do digital marketing or trading or something online. A lot of people did something physical, bricks and mortar back home, and they want to try and do something like that in Paraguay.
Yep.
Let's say if you were to give advice to another person that wants to move here and start a small business like yourself, what would be some of the things that you could recommend to them?
First thing I'd say is don't expect it's going to be easy just because it's Paraguay and it's business friendly. It is very business friendly. It's a great environment to have a business. That doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. You have to understand the fundamentals of business. You have to be willing to put in the work. And yes, you'll get the rewards if you're good at it and if the market responds well. Don't just expect it's going to happen because it's a business friendly environment and there's almost no tax that you have to pay.
So when you say business friendly, is it purely the tax or is there other stuff?
It's tax, but it's just very easy to start. It would be illegal for me to have this business in Australia. I wouldn't be able to do it because I wouldn't be able to get the approvals. I got the approvals and it's all done, so I'm good to operate. Getting it done is a little bit of a ball ache, but even then, I compare this to what I would have had to do for a shop and all that stuff in a country like Australia. World's different. This is 1,000 times easier. Yes, it's bureaucratic. I would say far less bureaucratic than an equivalent sort of situation in a country like Australia, for sure.
You mentioned you were doing most of the stuff by yourself. Have you hired Paraguayan employees? Are you planning on doing it in the future? Do you have any experience with it you can share with people?
Yeah, so my ex-girlfriend worked as my secretary for a while. We finished and she doesn't work for me, but she was pretty good. She was open to learning for most of the time. Towards the end, wasn't as good as when she started. When she started, she was brilliant.
probably hated you towards the end.
I know, maybe. But she just, things that she was doing well at the start wasn't at the end. There is, generally speaking, guys who have Paraguayan staff don't always have the easiest time. But you could say that about any country. I think you've got to, if you find someone that's willing to learn, no problem. If they're not willing to learn, not willing to adjust their approach, you should sack them in 3 seconds and just go to the next one.
This is not going to work.
No. But then hiring someone, for me, it's a physical business and I'm manufacturing and doing those things. I need to have systems in place. I look at it as like a McDonald's setup. Like you can hire a 12-year-old, put them in McDonald's and they're fine. Not because what they're doing's so easy or so difficult, it's because the systems that they're working behind are so good.
Yeah.
So for my products, that for me is the point that I have to get to before hiring people. Because it's manufacturing as well, I also have to be at a scale where I can have a person hired and they're always busy doing something, which I'm not at yet. By the time I'm in supermarkets and exporting, 100%, I will need that. So I'm still developing systems to make them that clear that I can basically hire anyone, plug them in, and they'll work. My business doesn't rely on them. I can sack them at a moment's notice and then hire someone else. Something else, if you're hiring someone, this might be interesting. Taxes related to hiring someone here are about 30% extra on top of their wage. Wages aren't a lot. Minimum wage, you're looking at about, was it $300-400 US a month, something like that. As the business, you have to pay a 20% tax per employee, and the employee has to pay 10% out of their paycheck as well.
Okay.
Just to be aware of. So you got to factor that into costs. If you're hiring people, you got to register with a whole other, it's another bureaucratic.
And people get paid monthly here usually, don't they?
Yes.
Because in Australia, it's usually fortnightly?
Yeah, some people pay fortnightly.
Okay.
I was initially thinking I'll pay fortnightly. She preferred monthly. I think it very much depends on the person that you're hiring. If you're doing small, yeah.
Okay.
Then you have to pay a Christmas bonus, which is a double wage in December.
Yes, depending on how long they've worked for. I think it's less than 6 months, you don't have to. But again, it's not really a big issue because the wages are very small. If you've got a business that's making money, if you've got a business that's losing money, then I don't think staff is a big problem for you. You got other issues.
How did you get your first clients? Like, how did you market? What was your strategy at first?
Okay, so I like running businesses where the business funds the growth of the business. It's how I started business in Australia because I was broke. Like I was living on rice and beans and I had to start the business.
That's how most people get started, right? Unless you're like a rich daddy or something.
Yeah, it's not what most people see though. Most people see like you're doing fundraising and all that. It's just not my thing. I don't like it. So yeah, I started the business with the idea of basic principles. I need an irresistible offer that people are just going to say yes to. And I need to go to people who already trust me so I don't have to get over that trust hurdle. Give free stuff away, get them to try it, and then present the offer so that they'll buy it and just get traction. My goal was to not make money at the start, which I didn't for about 2 months, 3 months. It was to get clients, build a list. Yeah, that was my idea. I started with the soaps that we were giving. Do you remember those soap samples we gave out? These plastic containers, these molds, they were atrocious looking things. But the soap was good. But you just gotta do it. Had to get the product out, had to get people using it. And
also you asked around like the expat network. I think there was a few guys I knew that would be into it and I gave them your name.
Yeah, so I was using people that I knew. So guys from Paddle, on Facebook stuff, Instagram. So it started with mostly expats.
Yeah.
My initial idea was that probably expats were going to be the majority of my clientele. I didn't probably expect the Paraguayan thing to blow up the way that it did, which was a really nice surprise to me.
But also I think your prices are very reasonable.
But yeah, started with the expats, just word of mouth, and then it was, this is a great start offer if you're starting a business as well. So 50% off, but you just make sure you're not losing too much money if you do the offer. So it's 50% off, and then if they refer anyone, they get 50% of the person's purchase in credit towards the next purchase.
Right.
And that was the offer for about the first, I think 6 to 8 weeks, we ran that. And that got us the first sort of 50, 70 clients without spending a cent on ads or anything like that. Attempted the ads and they were like far cheaper. So Instagram ads, everything's done on Instagram here. That's just how the sort of market works. I've attempted Facebook. It didn't really work, but Instagram was definitely what worked really well. I made the decision not to do a online store because of problems with payment systems in this country. It's not like being in the US or country where you can use Stripe. If you're a part of the banking system, bank transfers, it works very well and you pay no fees. That was the primary thing, that and cash to start with.
That can probably be hard at first. So if you got an expat that's just got here, they don't have Paraguayan banking. Like, whereas if a regular Paraguayan have a Paraguayan.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to have a business if you don't have a ROOC. To get a ROOC, you have to add your cedula. If you've got a cedula, you can open a bank.
A client trying to pay you might not have Paraguayan banking yet.
They're all going to take cash out.
Right, yeah.
I accept card now. I didn't initially. It was not a big issue.
Okay.
The card became an issue. It was really odd. Like out of the first 400 clients I had, I got asked for card 3 times.
Okay.
That was it. And every single one of those 3 could pay in cash if I didn't accept card.
Okay.
It was not an issue. So I didn't even want to go to card because the clients weren't showing me that they needed it. I have it now because more clients started coming and asking for it.
Out of curiosity, what percentage does the local card processors take?
This varies a lot. Do you want me to, I'll grab the machines.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Because I've got 2 because of this.
Oh yeah, that's the,
so
I see this one a lot.
Yeah, this is the most popular one and the fees are retarded. It's so
Credit card, bank card?
Credit cards are 5%, debit cards are 3%. Most card machines that you use in foreign countries, 3% is like max, or it was when I was using it. I don't use it here because it doesn't work in Paraguay.
Okay.
And the big problem with this, I hate this company, like with a passion. Their service is atrocious and the product sucks.
It's got a bad reputation, that company.
They accept 50% of cards that they say they accept. And then you get stupid crap that happens where someone comes in, they'll pay with a card, and then they come back a week later to buy something else, pay with the same card, and it doesn't work. Why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The Weno's like the popular bank here. If you come here, you're probably going to have a Weno account. This one, I haven't had long, but it's cheaper. It hasn't failed once since I've had it. No, I haven't used it as much times as I use this one. It was 1,000 times easier to set up, and I'm just happy with it.
And I assume the payments are only in Guarani?
I can accept PIX, so I can accept Brazilian payments, so that'd be reales.
The other thing I think...
Dollars, apparently Argentina as well. What the hell? I didn't even know that. I only just saw that then. So yeah.
But I think as a small business in Paraguay, people understand cards, right? Because we do that a lot all over the world.
Yep.
Do you want to tell people a little bit about QR, which is quite popular here?
Yeah, it's just a code. Do you want me to generate one?
Yeah, so a lot of the banking apps here, besides some...
So you have that, bring up the amount. That's like the equivalent to half a cent. And then you just hit a QR thing, and then they scan that.
Like through their banking app. They'll load their banking app and then click a camera option.
Scan it, and it's like an auto payment.
Yeah. I think it's just because you don't need a card. And also because it's not using Visa or MasterCard, the Paraguayan banks don't have to pay a percentage to...
I still get charged though. That's why I don't like it.
But in general, if you're more like patriotic Paraguayan, QR is better because you're just not sending money to bloody Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah, bro, I didn't think about it from the Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a local bank transfer. Right.
I get charged on bank card if the Weno 1, so Weno 0. But
really?
Yeah, so Weno's got like these different benefits, and bank card's crap because they charge you for everything. And the fees are super high. And then the monthly fee's like double what the Weno monthly fee is. And I don't even have the top end machine. If you get the top end machine, it's even more. And they just don't bloody work. Don't get them if you come and use them and you want card payments.
Okay, so get the Weno machine. Let's want the Weno machine. Roughly how much did it cost? How long did it take to get it? And was it much of a process?
This is the phenomenal thing. It's so easy. So it was online. The application was all online, done through their app. Weno's like super digitally, like super advanced. So I thought the process would be easy.
Yeah?
I had to have a ROOC.
Okay,
which has to have a set number. Yeah, so a ROOC is like the tax number. To get that, you have to have a cedula. But you can apply for the ROOC. It's free. Again, this is a pain in the ass if you're trying to do it yourself. Speaking from experience, get someone to do it for you. Pay $50 or $100, whatever it is to do it. It's just going to save you hassle. So you get the ROOC. On their app, there's an option where you can go in and apply for the electronic POS.
On the Weno app?
Yeah, you can go and apply on there. I think all I had to put in was like my ROOC and the business name. I think that was it.
Really?
And then they're like, okay, cool, come by a shop. This was so cool. This was like so cool. So I go by a shop and then I'm like, I applied for one of these things and then they tell me to open my banking app, scan a code on a machine that they've got. It confirms it's me and then it pops out of the machine and then I leave. It was so easy.
Machine pops out.
Yeah, I didn't have to sign one thing. It was crazy. It's so cool. So for the bank card one, I had to sign something. I'm in a 1-year contract. If I want to cancel, I got to pay 2 months to get out of it. I went and canceled. They gave me three months for free, which incidentally, if you do get a bank card one, just go cancel straight away and then they'll give you 3 months for free because that's their cancellation process.
Heard it here first.
That's a way to get around some fees, but the machine just sucks. The company sucks. The Weno one's been really good and they're cheaper.
Okay, so go with the Weno machine. The machine is registered to your personal rook, not to a business tax number. So is Blackjack Paraguay, is it within your personal tax number or is it a separate business entity?
The rook that I've got for this business.
Okay, so I see. So
that
the
what you're
rook
saying?
you were talking about, so is Black an entity or are you
No, I
like
haven't set it up
sole
like that.
trader?
So I've done it like a sole trader. I don't know what the equivalent of that is in the US, but I set it up like a sole trader because I don't have any assets here that I care if I lose.
Okay.
So if I get sued or something, well, fucking what are you gonna take? You're not gonna get into my accounts anywhere else. And I just don't have that much here, so I don't care.
Okay.
When I move to exporting, then yes, I'll set up separate entities
Yeah.
for the legal protection, but right now I don't need it.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's something for the future. If people wanted to reach out, buy some of your products,
I was just doing that.
yeah.
To show where they could find me.
Hey, that was really good. Where can people find you?
Primary location would be Instagram. I have a Facebook page. I don't check it, so if you send a message there, probably not gonna see it.
Instagram,
Instagram,
Tallow.
Blackjack Tallow, Blackjack, and then underscore Tallow 991257199 is the Paraguay number.
What barrio are we in right now?
Just on this side of San Cristobal, and then Villa Mora is like that side.
Okay, perfect. So walking distance from the expat hub.
So if you know the area, it's about 15 minutes walk from Shopping Del Sol, about 10-15 minute walk from Shopping Mariscal.
Do you do delivery?
Yes, most of the business is delivery. 90% of the business is delivery. Few people come in and get certain things, especially if it's heavier. If they're coming in for the dog food or the 3-litre jars of tallow, usually people come and pick that up.
And so here we are in the storefront, mate. I have someone to come in and have a look at the wares. What's your hours of business?
Have a look at the wares, eh?
Have a look.
Like it a lot, it was cracker. So 9:30 a.m. in the morning,
Oversleeping.
and it just works better for most people too.
Okay.
It's not sleep, like I'm gonna wake up at 6, but allows me to do the gym and everything in the morning. 4:30 in the afternoons. A lot of people need to come after that. Just send a message through on WhatsApp. I live at the end of the street. My building's on the same thing, so I'm usually very close, or I'm in here, and people can come after, and they do that all the time. I've got 3 people coming after. Yeah.
And I guess the final one is, who's better at paddle?
Oh, if we're gonna say who's better at paddle, you've got to do it over like historical, right? So Paul got his first win against me yesterday. He's pretty happy.
It wasn't my first win against.
First win.
But
First,
it was a good win.
first win. And it wasn't even my fault. Clearly Joe lost it. No, I'm joking. Well, Paul's better. Are you happy?
I am. We'll cut it there. Anyway, Joe, thank you for your time today.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, honestly, very impressive. Like I said, what you're doing is amazing, and we'd love to see way more expats coming here and starting businesses.
Same.
Yeah.
I would too. And if you are, I would say this to anyone who's interested in coming. If you're feeling a little bit pissed off in your country, you're not happy with what the government, society is appreciating you as a business owner, as someone who creates stuff, gives services, gives value, and you want a place that you can not feel demonized by the people you're actually trying to serve and help, as well as get rewarded. Great location, as well as all the other benefits. But yeah, if you're willing to have a go, this is an amazing country to start a business and get rewarded for it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. If you want to learn more about the residency in Paraguay, you can book a call with me in the description. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in Paraguay. Have a good one. All right. Cool. Awesome.